Born wild in a world that wants to tame me. You can't catch me on the run, cause I'm gone, yeah. I blaze trails, set fire to what's behind me. No, I'm never looking back, I'm on the run. I could only ever be what I'm made to be. It feels good when I'm living on the edge. Watch me now, roll like thunder, gonna shake the ground. Can't stop me now, I don't give up and I won't back down. I'm a force of nature, can't be contained. I got lightning running all through my veins. Watch me now, watch me now. Oh, you know I don't give up.
Hello, Mountaineers. I'm the Wolfman, Dale Wolfley, and this is the Wolfman's Call for the Baylor Bears breakdown and preview. It's brought to you by our good friends at Parmar Stores. If there's not a Parmar store near you now, there will be one soon. And by Arson Grange Company. Switch to hemp, just the dip. Do it the AGC way, man. Get healthy. Knock that nicotine out. Knock that tobacco out. That's right. Arson Grange Company hemp. Well, hello, Mountaineer fans. I hope you are well and ready and refreshed and feel vigorously regrouped to go on and take on the Baylor Bears on Thursday night against a team that I call this is high up there. They are the defending Big 12 champions. They did lose to Oklahoma State by a score. They had a bye week as well. But I think this team, the Mountaineers, come out and play with all they got, all three phases of the ball. They have a real shot. They got a real shot to beat this team. I like our team matchup. I think that our offensive line, if they're the team that's not going to be the offensive line against the Texas Longhorns, which did not secure their first level blocks, their combo blocks, and then get up to the linebackers, making the Texas linebackers look like they're all Americans. They didn't need any help from the Mountaineers. They're already pretty good. Or are you going to be a secondary that sees the speed coming at them and basically freeze like a deer in headlights? Again, I'm not going to sit here and rip on you about it because I understand the first time you've seen that speed, it can do that to you. You hope it doesn't, and you hope you react differently, and you hope you compete with it. But they didn't, so that's over. Now, what are you going to do? Because they got some fast guys as well. This is the Big 12, and they got some skilled guys at wide receiver, tight end, and their running backs. Richard Reese, man, number 29, freshman. Dude, he's legit, man. He's averaging about 5.5 yards per rush. This whole offensive unit is tough because they're going to run at you, and then they're going to play action you, and they're going to go misdirection, and then they're going to hit all over, and all of a sudden that tight end, where's that tight end at? Because you get lost with the tight end because he's going to act like he's blocking and then go out for a pass. I'm going to show you that in the cut-ups. But that's what that offense is. It's going to be a bunch of running at you, play action pass. You're not going to try to drop back in 10 personnel and just do all vertical switches. They can, but that's not going to be their overall game plan. Now, when watching the Texas tape, I have to think that they're going to try to go on the secondary and get some big explosive plays. They did against Oklahoma State. They ran by them a couple times. They did some nice jobs. They made some big plays. But last week, when I said that the Mountaineers had to win the big play game, obviously they didn't. But that's what really hurt the Mountaineers was the big plays. And the Mountaineers give up big plays. And you're going to see in the cut-ups here, Oklahoma State let Baylor get some big plays on them. And that certainly did hurt the Baylor or Oklahoma State Cowboys. It certainly did. So look out. It's going to be a barn burner. Hold on to your hair, your seats, your behind, whatever it is. Hold on, because it's going to be another Big 12 game. And honestly, that's what I love the Big 12, because it's another good team, another ranked team coming in. When you're in the Big East, all the time, you didn't always have those ranked teams. But on the Big 12, you do. Yeah, I've heard all the stories. I've heard all I wish the fans could be there. And I do too. I really do, because I enjoyed traveling around to Boston College. I enjoyed traveling around to Virginia Tech. I enjoyed traveling to Pitt and Syracuse and, down to Miami. And, that was some good traveling right there, all on the East Coast for sure. But that's not the reality of right now. Maybe down the road. We don't know. Maybe down the road it could be different. But the reality is right now they have to go Big 12, and that means that the Baylor Bears are coming in to the Mountaineers on national TV. Do we want to get embarrassed again? Absolutely not. So we better be ready. Looking at this offensive line, I have to go ahead and do this, because I hear a lot about this offensive line of Baylor, and they're good. It's not what they did against Oklahoma State, and the Bears are averaging 188 yards per game in the rush, about 223 per game passing, maybe a little bit more. But when you watch their scheme, it's really play action pass off of the run. If the Mountaineers can get in there and stop the run, they can do a lot of things to set themselves up for a great opportunity to win the game if they can stop the run. So you got to do two things really on defense to Baylor's offense. You have to stop their run, and you have to make sure they don't big play you with the wide receivers. So that right there to me is a possibility that can happen, because the defensive line and Lee Koba and the box and the guys playing that they'll play tough in the box. And this Baylor team, they're going to do a lot of split zone, scissors. They're going to do some pulling with the guards. Their offensive line do a little bit of misdirection, not like the Kansas guys, not like that kind of misdirection, but they're going to go ahead and do some counters, all that good stuff, and powers and coming at you. They're basically downhill, man. They are downhill. They are a tough offensive line, and you'll see in the clips here that they can control the line of scrimmage. Oklahoma State, they gave it to them. They gave it to that defensive line, and Jacob Gull, their All-American center. Now, I will say this, and I feel pretty confident about this. Jacob Gull is a very, very, very excellent offensive lineman. Transferred in from the University of Buffalo down to the Baylor Bears. He was first team, I believe, a couple things last year, and preseason, really first team All Big 12 by the media. Well, Zach Frazier is a better center, and I will just go on the record, and say that I believe Zach Frazier is better, but Jacob Gull is an excellent, excellent center and offensive lineman, but he's not the athlete that Zach is. He can't do some things that Zach can, nor is he as strong, but very good football player. Now that's it for that. I will not go back, and I will not go into the offensive line such as that. But the Baylor Bears, 188 yards rushing per game. I think if you could really stop the run and try to make Shapen go ahead and beat you in the air, the Mountaineers have a chance. Now, they got a guy there that just had a coming out party against Oklahoma State, and that's Monterey Baldwin. A couple touchdowns and a whole lot of yards, and I tell you, he is fast, fast, fast. It's another one of those greased lightnings. Now, I don't know if he's as fast as Xavier Worthy. I think he might be in that class, because he ran away from some Oklahoma State guys that you'll see, and it was pretty good. Richard Reese, the running back, freshman, they have 3 or 4 running backs that they've used. It looks right now that Richard Reese, the young guy, he's only 5'9", 175 pounds, but now he is fast and he's tough. He'll put his shoulder down and he'll play hard. He'll get in the red zone, put his shoulders down, squeeze in for the touchdown and go full gore. So again, it's going to be tough. How do I say this? Shapen's a 69% completion percentage. I think he has 8 touchdowns and only 2 or 3 picks, or 9 touchdowns, and 2 picks. But it's not outstanding. He's not spectacular. He's not a Quinn Ewers or a Hudson Card. He's not that flashy. But he is effective. And that's what I want to say about this Baylor team. They are effective. And they're kind of that way last year when they had that big offensive line, big defensive line. They still got Ika, the number 62, the 6'4", 350-pound nose guard, which Zach Frazier is going to, speaking of which, he's going to have his hands full. So it's going to be a battle, man. And this is almost say I've gone into these games, this past 4 games or 5 games, and I've had a lot of hopes. Every single game I went in hoping the Mountaineers could win. I was concerned about Texas coming off of losing to Texas Tech, concerned about what was going on down there, concerned that it was going to be an ambush, and it was. So I was concerned about that, but I still had my hopes. I did not expect to see how the ambush would come so well for the Longhorns. But that happens. Big games, it's over. What did you learn? That's what I want to ask our young brothers. What did you learn from that game? How can you be better for this game against the Baylor Bears? Watching that speed defensive secondary for the Mountaineers, how can you be better to react with your technique and fundamentals? Because I know you're fast. It's just seeing that speed the opposite way coming at you. Like I said, sometimes you go, woo, everything just goes crazy. I've been there, so I know it. And I can say it because I've been there. I'm not saying anything that I haven't been through. That being said, how are you going to react? How are you going to get better to react to that speed when Monterey Baldwin comes running down your sideline or comes across the field for you? What about the running backs? What about the tight end, Sims? He's the leading receiver on the team, 20 receptions. Now, he's only got like a 70-yard average per catch, but he is that check down. He is the release. The Mountaineers really have to be aware of where he is on the field, because if he goes down the seam, he's going to sit there blocker. They're going to move the pocket, move the quarterback, and he's going to be there blocking 1001 release, and he'll do some type of bootleg, some type of cross formation, cross field. And they like to just go play action pass. And why wouldn't they? Because the running game is so effective. And Blake Shea, I tell you, I really like how he does the play action. He is good. And that's behind a big, tall offensive line. I think they average like 6'5", 6'6". You got the left tackle 6'7", the center 6'6". I mean, my goodness, it is quite. It's right here, in fact. I'll go right through it to you. So left tackle is 6'7". He's 302 pounds. Left guard is 6'5", 331. Gall, the center, is 6'2", 300 pounds. You have the right guard at 6'4", 312. And you have the right tackle at 6'5", 310. Okay, so those are some big boys that can move. They can move. Now, many people said they're the best offensive line in the Big 12, and I'm not so sure about that. They're very good, very good. I think we'll know more after Thursday's game against this defensive line and box for the Mountaineers. I believe that the Mountaineers can actually play with their strength against the run. I really do. If the Mountaineers can shut down the run and stop those big plays, they can go ahead and be successful. If they can't, it's going to be another long night for the Mountaineers, just like the Longhorns last Saturday or Saturday before it was. So Mountaineers better be ready offensively, defensively, and special teams. Now, I'm not going to show it to you because all it is just a kickoff return, but they seem to be an issue in the kickoff. The Mountaineers need to get that kickoff return going. Get it going. Special teams, especially at home, go off the home vibe. Win that field position. Win the turnover battle, because the Mountaineers are still, 95-14 when winning the turnover battle. Guess I'll probably say that every week. But let's go ahead. Let's start off with the Baylor offense and see how they did against Oklahoma State, what they were doing, and then how the Mountaineers need to battle against that. We'll get to it right after this message from our guys at Parmar Stores.
Hi, my name is Wyatt Milam, and I'm from Canova, West Virginia. When I'm back home in Canova, you will find me at my local Parmar store.
We had that golden boot pride at Parmar. There are literally hundreds of Parmar stores in West Virginia, Kentucky, Ohio, and Pennsylvania, and even more on the way. Download the Parmar app to save even more. And whether it's food, gas, groceries, or whatever, we have you covered at Parmar. West Virginia proud and ready to serve you.
And if there's not a Parmar store near you now, there will be soon.
Breaking down this Baylor offense, they're averaging 37 points per game with a total of 436 yards. Now, they like to run the ball. 351 attempts, they've rushed the ball 200 of those times. Yeah, Baylor likes to run them, and they like to run by committee. Watch Quaylen Jones here, averaging 5.5 yards per rush. Look at this big offensive line. These tight ends, they're like 11, 12 personnel. You'll see him get into a little bit of 10 when it goes down to the long distance. Look at that offensive line blocking. Wow, we are going to take a look at Quaylen Jones once again against Oklahoma State right here. Slow motion. Look at this offensive line. Look at the combo blocks. You see Jacob Gall, the center, All-American, the guard, coming up, getting up to the second level against Oklahoma State. A back that's taken over that's had 72 rushes this season is Richard Reese. He's 5'9", about 175 pounds. He's a true freshman, but he is fast. Watch him go here. Let's look at the blocking there. Again, big holes by that offensive line, getting up to the second level. You see him coming again here, outside zone. They're going to go off the outside zone. 11, 12 personnel. They like to get out there. They like to get up to the second level. Watch out. Look at this. Is just really good running. Richard Reese. He also is averaging 5.5 yards per rush, and he might be small in stature, but he runs like a big man. Watch him here. He's going to make a cut, and then he's going to finish putting down his shoulders. He's not afraid of any collisions now. Watch the scissors here. I call it scissors because you're going to see the 88 go in motion. You're going to see the tight end Sims go across like he's in a split zone, but the running back's going to come back to the actual directions. We call that scissors. It's action off of the split zone. They're going to go there. He's going to actually go to the front. And we'll look at that big hole. You see big old 66 Jacob Gall. Now, they say he's the best center in the league, and I'm telling you, he is not. You know who the best center in the league is. Yeah, that's right. Zach Frazier. There's no doubt. Look at this. Even he's a smaller man, like I said, 176, but he's a tough guy. He lowers his shoulder, and he's fast. They're averaging 180 yards per rushing. They are going to try to outrush against the Mountaineers. Moving on to the Baylor passing game, you see quarterback, sophomore Blake Shapins. He's averaging 223 yards per game, and he likes the checkdowns. Watch for tight end here, Ben Sims, number 8. He leads the team in receptions with 20, but they're short. He is the checkdown guy, but the Mountaineers are going to have to be on top of it and know where the tight end is at all times. Watch, he's going to block, and then he's out as a release. Now, that's a great job by Oklahoma State. And as I said, the Bears love to play action pass. Watch Blake Shapins here. He's going to fake the handoff to the running back, looking to his right and then back to his left. You're going to see Cameron, the receiver, is going to come in. He's going to throw a nice, sharp pass looking back. Right there, he fakes it, steps, look at that, nice, right into his hands. A big play. Again, it is the play action pass. Watch this in slow motion here. Watch the fake. The defense has got to be watching this and then watching the passing routes because that is not always a handoff. They do a great job. Tough to know which is which. And in the receiving game, you really have to watch Monterey Baldwin. He had a coming out party at Oklahoma State like very few, averaging 23 yards per receptions. He's got 3 touchdowns on the season, 261 yards. Watch this guy. He'll go across the middle. He'll go deep. It doesn't matter. He's there. He's going to make the catch. He's going to get yards after catch. You want to see someone that's as fast as Worthy? Well, this guy might be in the same category. Look at here. Watch the throw by Shapin. Wow, is that big time? Look at that throw. 50 yards in the air, and he's going to hit him right in his stride, right over the shoulder. Yeah, precise throwing quarterback Blake Shapins. And this is the last play right here. Wow, this is big. Let's just watch. He gets to play, catches that ball. When you see where he catches it? Out there with his hands. He doesn't bring it into his body, and no one's catching him, man. Fast as what? As I said last week with Xavier Worthy, greased lightning. It comes off of the outside zone running game. And you're going to see here, just a pitch out here. They had him deep. Oh, that's Oklahoma State had him deep. And they came after him and watched the blocking here on the edge. They got to the edge. You have to be able to get to the perimeter against the Baylor Bears because everything starts with the outside zone. If you can shut that down, you can really hurt their running opportunities. The Bears are supposed to have the best line in the Big 12, right? Well, watch left tackle here, Connor Gilbert. He's 6'7", 302 pounds, but man, he gets beat just with the sweat of the hands. Watch this. They are beatable. You can get there, and they will give up a sack if you pressure them. The defense, Dante Stills, Sean Martin, Jordan Jefferson, Taj Alston. Get your game going. The Baylor Bears will have miscues, as you'll see in this Blake Shapen's interception. The receiver's going to drop the ball, fairly accurate pass, but Blake Shapen's had 2 picks just in this game. They will have some failures. Watch that split zone play action pass. It's a pick. Oklahoma State ends the game. Oh, there you have it. You see it. Oh, boy, I tell you, Richard Reese, what a runner, huh? Man, he's tough. He's fast. He'll break through arm tackles to the outside. Everything goes from the outside zone. Everything goes to the outside zone. And they do a lot of motioning. They do some unbalance. They move you around so that your alignment, if you look and see in some of those big plays in the passing game, you're going to see the receivers are moving in, out, whatever, just to mess with the secondary's alignment and the communication that they have with their partners. So they'll go ahead and they will be that a little bit complex right there and a little advanced and move it in and out just to get with the alignment, mess with the alignment of the secondary, and they get big plays off of it. So they are effective. But let's go ahead. Now let's break down the Baylor Bears defense and what the Mountaineers have to do, because the Mountaineers, they have to go ahead and run the ball and be successful running. They have to get to the second level, have to get up to the linebackers and the safeties in the box. They have to win the box, win the line of scrimmage, because if you don't, it's going to be a long day. JT Daniels, make the right decision. Quarterback. Okay, you're going to run the ball, you're going to pass the ball. Make sure they're good balls. Receivers, you got to be able to play physical. If they do go any man, they like the 2 safeties high. If they do go any man, you have to be physical and get off and get open. Bryce Ford Wheaton, man, this is your type of game. I even got a play in there for you. There you go. Check it out. Roll it. Defensively, the Baylor Bears are giving up only 97 yards on average against the run. You look at their big defensive lineman, and Cole Maxwell, 6'5", 285, senior. And you look at Siaki Ika, the 6'4", 360-pound, first team All Big 12 last year. And, of course, Gabe Hall, who's 6'6", 296, junior. All big dudes in the middle, only giving up 100 yards, less than 100 yards per game. Watch as they get around, they gather. Look at all those yellow helmets, man. Now watch the Bears here. You're going to see the 2 safeties up high. They like to do a lot of 2 safeties. Cover 4, where it's quarters, safeties too high. They'll do a little bit of too high, robber, but they're going to make sure the safeties are there. They don't like giving up the big explosive plays. And you're going to watch here, Wolcott, the leading tackler of the team. He is their star of the defense, and his position is also called the star safety. And you can see him breaking through the wide receiver. The wide receivers, tight ends, they all better be ready if they're out there going to block for a screen. Now, I put these 2 short yardage plays in here because I saw 5 times Oklahoma State in a short yardage situation against Baylor, and Baylor lost all 5 times. Okay, short yardage, you got the big dude in the middle. That's an offensive line by Oklahoma State that's coming off the ball. Look at that big Ika right there, ready for a touchdown. Yeah, push it right in. You see the white advancing the yellow backwards into their own end zone. That's what the Mountaineers have to do. That's what the offensive line has to be able to do. They have to push, secure the combo blocks below, and then get up to the second level to the backers and safeties. Looking at the Bears, will they blitz? Yes, they will blitz, but they also will just change up who they're bringing. You're going to see over here Doyle, the weak side linebacker. He's looking like he's going to blitz. He's going to drop off, and the linebacker here is going to come and rush. In reality, they're only rushing for because this guy is going to drop off into coverage as well. The offensive linemen have to be aware of who's coming and who's not. You see right there? Watch the slow motion because I want you to see it. You're going to see he's up there, he's going to drop off, and this guy's coming. JT Daniels, you have to recognize this. Zach Frazier, guards, you have to recognize who's coming, who's not. Good job, Oklahoma State. The Baylor defense, they will make big plays, and you're going to see this interception by Morgan, the safety, up top here. But receiver's just doing an out, and he makes the catch. And that's what JT Daniels doesn't need on the outs. He has to be very careful because this team will make and big play you on defense. Don't make mistakes because that's what they're waiting for. They're waiting for the offense to make mistakes. And I put this play in because I want you to see the aggressiveness of the Baylor Bears defense. Watch the three Baylor Bears attack the screen here by Oklahoma State. They will come after 1, 2, that's 3 yellow helmets attacking the screen, blowing right by the blockers of Oklahoma State. This defense is extremely aggressive, and the Mountaineers are going to have to be prepared. Inside, outside, and be able to get up to the second level. Offensive line, tight ends, wide receivers. Attack, aggressive, swarm style. Because the Baylor Bears are so tough up the middle, the Mountaineers have to find a way to get the perimeter. I expect screens, I expect jet motion, I expect outside zone. But here you're going to see the quarterback go ahead and get outside. They lost containment, that is the Baylor Bears did. He goes down there and he makes a big play. The Mountaineers have to get outside at the perimeter and find that open space on the sidelines. It's time for JT Daniels and the wide receivers to get back to making big plays down the field. And here you can see the Oklahoma State wide receiver is going to run by the corners in their cover 4, and he's going to get the touchdown. Big plays. I said against Texas, the Mountaineers didn't do it. They let Texas get them on big plays. The Mountaineers have to get the Baylor Bears on big plays. And because I feel very convinced that Bryce Ford Wheaton up here, assuming that he would be this guy, Oklahoma State, one-on-one, he's number 1 in contested catches in the country, and he needs to go ahead and be able to make these kind of plays against the Bears. Just on his alley-oop, 50-50, go make the play. That's big-time ball. Bryce Ford Wheaton, we need you, man. We need you. JT Daniels, make sure you deliver the good. All right, so now you saw the offense and the defense. Special teams, they're good. They're not great. I think this is a good Baylor team. I think it's a top 25 Baylor team. I think that the Mountaineers playing the right way, the Mountaineers can play, can take this game, and they can win it. I'm not going to sit here and cheerlead. I'm not, there's nothing I can do. You know, I sat there and watched that Texas Longhorn game, and there's just nothing I could do. So I felt bad, felt frustrated, sad, a little angry at times, but you know what? I've done that to Mountaineer fans before myself, being a Mountaineer on teams. So I understand. But now you're 2-3. National TV, at Mountaineer Field, at home. It's your pride, man. This is your pride. Get fired up. Get ready to go. I think you really need to get jacked up. Don't listen to anybody else. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to anyone but your coaches and everybody inside that building over there. Because only you can make the difference. Only you can win these games. Man, it's going to be a battle. It's going to be a battle. It's going to be fun. And that's what football is supposed to be fun. And in the long term, don't lose sight of football is a game that's supposed to be fun. Now, it's also a lot of viciousness and going primal, but that's part of the fun. Okay, the skill of going up and making big plays, making those big receptions, making those big runs, making that big tackle, taking that offensive lineman as a defensive lineman and tossing them like Jordan Jefferson, like you saw against Virginia Tech. Those are the times when the game is fun. The game's not fun against the Longhorns, having a night like they did, watching people blow by you, watching offensive, defensive linemen win the line of scrimmage. That's no fun. Make sure this game is fun, and that is by going out and winning your individual battle. If you win individually, and then you get 11 guys on that side of the ball, wins individuals, then you win as a group, and then you win on both sides of the ball, then the 3 phases of the game with special teams. And that's how you win games. Make some plays, make some turnovers. We're last in the league and in interceptions and getting turnovers. Last in the league. We need to change that. We need to make some plays that are going to change it and get good field position and score off those. It's no good if you don't score. You got to score off of those turnovers and make them hurt, because that's the winning formula. And that's it. And I'm ready to go, man. I don't want to talk a lot. I just want to go get them. This is the WolfMan's call. And you know what? Let's go Mountaineers. Man, this is good stuff. How many times do you get to play on national TV? This is the 3rd time on Thursday nights and Saturday night against Texas. Well, it was the national game. This is great, man. It's great to be a Mountaineer. Get up. This is why you do it. This is football. This is it. You're on national TV almost every week. If not every week, except for the one FCS game. Get jacked up. Thursday night again. This is cool, man. It's the Baylor Bears, top 25 team. This is why you play the games, why you came to West Virginia, so you can compete against schools like Baylor Bears, like the Texas Longhorns, the Oklahoma Sooners, like the Oklahoma State Cowboys, and so on, and so on, and so on. So let's get after it. As a Mountaineer Nation, as a crowd, let's get after it. Let's cheer. I don't care about the record. The record doesn't matter anymore. The record's done. Right now, the only thing that matters is Thursday night, the Baylor Bears, and beating them and pounding them and going aggressive and tackling and open field tackling secure, and your knees are bent and your back is flat and you're thinking about making the plays and you're seeing it, you're visualizing making the big plays, because if you visualize, it can happen. If you don't ever visualize it, you probably won't make it. But if you can visualize it and imagine those big plays, see yourself up there making that interception, making that big tackle, making that sack, making that TFL, blocking that defensive lineman, getting up to the second level, blocking that linebacker. How about this? How running back? How about making a big explosive run? JT Daniels, how about this? Throwing the ball down the field. Hey, BFW, Caden Prather, Sam James, right? Respect. Well, it doesn't matter. Go make that catch. Have fun and beat these dudes and beat them at their own game. And that means physicality. Physicality. Yeah. Let's leave it on that. And that, my friends, is your Baylor Bears WolfMan's Call breakdown and preview. Brought to you by Parmar Stores. There's not a Parmar store near you now. There will be one soon. And Arson Grange Company. Switch to hemp, just a dip. Do it the AGC way. Arson Grange Company hemp. Let's go Mountaineers. Beat the Bears. Hail West Virginia. Boom!